This is LaRon Brown with PE 575 for Unit 5 of my video response. Um, so the question asks, um, sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. The question asks, identify what part of your story, your experiences of life need to be shared with others so they too can be inspired. Um, well, in my life particular, I grew up in foster care. I was in foster care from 6 to 18, and that is kind of that's my inspiration, that's my motivation, and I use that past experience to keep me motivated to where I want to be in my life and to move forward. I worked with foster youth for about 10 years, close to 10 years, and that was my way of giving back and trying to inspire others and giving back to the youth and the kids coming up under me or behind me, to try to be an example, try to be a role model. Um, in that aspect or in that respect, that was my story. It took me a while to come to grips with it, to accept it, and to use it as an advantage rather than to be a product of a system, of a broken system, um, and have my life kind of fall apart. There's only two ways you can really deal with being going through something like that, going through foster care or whatnot. Either you use it as fuel and you use it to make you better, make you stronger become a stronger person, to build stronger characteristics, or you let it consume you and you become a statistic. And that's just not what I wanted to do. Along the path with my story, there's a lot of things I've been through, I've dealt with, and I've overcome. And that's why I'm here. I mean, statistics show I wasn't supposed to graduate high school, or I was supposed to be in prison or locked up. But I have a bachelor's degree. I got a full ride academic scholarship to college, and I'm now pursuing my master's degree. And I can't wait till it's done. So that's my story. That could be inspiring to share others. And there's other videos and stuff where I go more in depth and stuff like that. But for the sake of this assignment, um, that's my story. What areas of physical education and sport do we need to be more accepting of each other's diversity? I mean, the first thing that came to mind for me when I read that question was the Special Olympics. I mean, at Cal State Fullerton, they host an event every year where there's like like a game ceremony where it's a Special Olympics where I actually serve at high school, the school I coach at now. They come and volunteer and help with these games and events, um, for this particular, group of people. And I think it's more of just like people just realizing that not everyone is the same. Everyone has different capabilities, and some have different disabilities. And the more we look at people as people, then the better our society will become. Because I think growing up, kids were, it's okay. Kids think it's okay to look at people and judge them differently, and it honestly comes down. It starts with the parents. So they pick up things, they hear things, maybe what's seen on TV or the music, whatever it is. But I think if people would just learn to just accept others for what they are and just look at things in a different scope, our society would be better. Our world would be better. We wouldn't have so much tension and friction and problems, issues, whatever the case may be. And sports is a one thing where many cultures and the diversifications come together as one. It's like, well, on the basketball court, anybody can be good. There's professional leagues all over the world. It's not just the U.S. It's not just African Americans. It's not just white people. It's just like it's everyone. Um, and not even in sports in general. And I think in some cultures, I mean, athletics is really what stands out for them and what represents that culture. And I think that's awesome. You know, different countries are like that, and I'm just and every certain countries are, um, like Canada has the hockey team. So, like like some things are like some sports make certain cultures are a part of their diversification. And that's what makes them unique. And I think that's awesome. But people just have to understand that not everyone is the same, and people have different attributes and disabilities and capabilities, and that's okay. But I think it starts from the parents, and in this new generation we have to really just like teach our kids that hey, it's like it's okay to be different, and it's okay to accept others for what they are and what they can do, what they possess, and how they are, and whatever the case may be. So